pick.
Oh, and 22.
And 22.
Plus one more.
Plus one more. How long you do out?
Come on, man.
14. So now we are all alive and free. We are out here being productive individuals. We not committing no crimes. And look at us. This is real prison reform right here. Us coming together doing something productive.
That's
Allahu
right.
Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Yes, sir.
The question is, do you feel that society make it tough for people that are incarcerated to have a second chance?
Indeed.
I got a question. When you say society, is the system considered society? Because I wouldn't use the term society. I said the system.
The system. There you go.
The system make it hard. I'm a convicted felon.
Okay.
And you know, it's so hard because you looking at a person that got 2 degrees. I got a master's degree. But when I apply for jobs, they don't give a damn about them degrees. Nah, it go straight to background. Like, you would be amazed at how many jobs that I done got turned around. You know, 8 years of leadership experience, two degrees. None of that matter. Once you get hit with that felon, you're a felon. But it's all about, the system is a setup. It's a setup. It sets them up for them to come back. It's a funding. It's a business. You know, when you have them inmates, when you incarcerated, it's a business. Like I ran the juvenile field for 8 years. That's a business. If we could change all of those youth lives and they didn't come back reoffend, with the money, it ain't no business no more. So it's all set up. Like, you got these fellas that can't get these good jobs. So 9 times out of 10, the ones that went in there for selling dope, why you think they go back doing it? They can't get a good job. And then the jobs that you can get, I'm not saying you can't get a job. The jobs that you can get, they want to slave you. You know what I'm saying? They want to slave you for $12, $13, $14 an hour. So 9 times out of 10, the big drug dealers like that, they go back and they slang dope, and then they end up getting caught and they reoffend again.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
And you let me know if I'm overstepping your boundaries, all right? How did that affect you mentally, and does it still affect you now?
It affected me mentally because it pissed me off due to the situation of the charge that I got. Do it affect me now? No, it don't affect me now because, like, I'm elevated. You feel what I'm saying? The thing is, the system sets you up. I mean, you do whatever you do, but at the end of the day, it sets you up, and then a lot of men, a lot of women, they fail. They fall into the hands of what the system wants you to play. It didn't do me that way. I'm elevated. I'm an entrepreneur now. I'm a personal trainer. My clientele is shooting up, so that didn't stop me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't blame what I was going to say. Go ahead, they come back to me.
I want to go back to what we talked about masculinity, and we talked about being vulnerable. Now, looking back, was there ever a time where you were vulnerable about being rejected, or did you even shed tears because of the situation?
Yeah.
Because you talk about you.
Yeah, man, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Most definitely, them lonely nights, it was hard because it's one of them things like, man, I done worked for all this. I done got degrees. I got all of this. And you tell me I can't get a job because of discharge.
Who did you go to? Like, who was in your corner that you could have that conversation?
Oh God.
See, okay. Where were the men at?
What were the who?
Where were the other men?
Oh man, I don't know. I can't. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
And
I mean, I got. Well, I'll take that back. Well, majority of the time, God, I got one person. Not my real brother, but he's like a brother Leon. I can go talk to him, but it's one of them things, man. I'm not finna always hit him up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to always bring my problems or my vision to him. So if it wasn't him, it was God. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't have that confidence or have that. I wasn't comfortable, or I really don't deal with people or really trust to go talk to anybody else.
do you feel like you didn't have a village at all?
Nah, hell no. Man, I was when I fought my indictment for 2 years, man, I could just
Nobody
be in the
there.
courtroom.
Damn.
Be in my damn lawyer, dog.
So do you think does it depend on the charge when it comes to finding jobs? Because for me, I spent over 30 years in corporate America, so I sit on the other side of the interview panel. And so if someone came in with a drug charge, I looked at them differently than someone coming in for domestic violence or some type of a violent charge or assault or something of that nature. Because if I was to hire a person that came from a environment where they shot someone, killed someone, or something of that nature, and then we hired that individual, it could be a liability on that company. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But if it's someone that came in for a drug charge or something of that nature, I personally looked at those situations differently.
It's tricky because I'm still on papers. You know what I'm saying? So most jobs, it do depend on the charge. But then at the end of the day, the system is still screwed up. Because think about it. Once I get off papers, I get off papers in November. You telling me that I was indicted back in, this 25, I was indicted back in 2022, and it's 2025, and then you tell me I still gotta wait another 5-7 years just to expunge my record? That's crazy. Well, where's the extra time coming from after I done completed everything?
Yeah.
It's screwed up out here. You feel what I'm saying? So
I like that you.
Go ahead.
I like that. Mine will be quick. I promise. I like that you said it's a business in it, because I've always thought, what if no one ever goes to jail? What if no one commits a crime and people don't get arrested? What will happen to the prisons that are in place? And I've always wondered that. So for you to say it's a business, they set it up, and I hate it because it's unfortunate that they set it up for people to go back. You bringing that to life and really putting the reality of it in my head is like, damn, like it is fucked up. They want people to return so that they can continue to run their business. Because I'm like, if people don't commit crimes and nobody goes to jail, how do prisons stay open? How do you justify it staying open? So that perspective is like,
I mean,
I hate
as
that.
of right now, they're starting with children in the juvenile system.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I used to work for 2 companies that work with children. They get points, like how they would get out. And I would witness the facility administrators, some of the FAs, the assistant, where they would basically take their points away just to keep them in another 6 months, because they get paid every single
Right.
day to have them in.
they get hundreds of dollars.
Oh,
off
yeah,
them
they
kids.
get paid really big, especially depending on the level of the facility too. And when they go in there, they have these doctors that come in there prescribing all this medicine. 9 times out of 10, by the time they get out, they're addicted to their medication.
Right.
They don't know that they can refuse the medication and 3 times, and then they can't give it to you. They're not supposed to give it to you, but they still do it. And I think a lot of the parents, they really don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you wonder, like, as soon as they get out, they're going back to the game. I've seen families get split in those facilities. So as right now, it's like the prison is really with the children right now.
It's all an attack on the young generation. They're the change. They're the next thing.
So the school to prison pipeline is not like a joke. It's not like a something propaganda. It's for real. So years ago, and I still scored for them. But Pearson, when you think about standardized tests, right? So they're testing kids as early as elementary school just to see how full, so to project years later how full the prisons will be based on the reading levels. So if you guys are familiar or follow anything within Metropolitan right now in Nashville about the reading levels, this is a big thing right now, the kids not being able to test out, right? So the standardized tests, the data that's coming from those tests are used for the school prison. Yeah, so basically they're collecting that information to see how many people that in 20, 30 years will go to prison. That's a real thing, I feel like I have a different perspective of it because my mom is a convicted felon. Hey, mama, love you, girl. So I grew up with my mom in and out of prison. So I've always just had like a different look because I was a little girl going and visiting my mom in prison. And then she was actually released to my address when I was 18 when I graduated from high school. So she stayed with me to have a place to stay to get released from prison, right? So for me, that created a passion for me to go back into the Juvenile Justice Center and Tennessee Women Prison and speak to the ladies, because at the end of the day, they're humans regardless of why they're behind the bars. So for me, I just believe that I don't judge people because I really don't, because hell, there's so many different variables why people end up where they end up at. So if you're just looking at them on paper, it's just not okay. And we're just people like judging, like projecting and shit because we didn't actually go through it. And I don't know, maybe just having a mom who went through it, just kind of changed my perspective on people. So when someone says they're convicted felon, I'm like, okay, next question. That's not gonna stop me from talking to you and getting to know you, because I know it's a story behind all of it, right? But a lot of people don't look at it. Even when you are hiring for people, you may look at this and may look at that, but you just never know what was happening in that particular situation that resulted to a domestic violence situation, right? Because it could have been a female provoking that male, where he had to just jack up, and she lied and told and said he done did this, right? And so now he has this charge on his record and can't get a job. And then in your case, selling drugs or whatever the case may be, being convicted, you are trying to survive in a system that hasn't really made it easy for you to survive. So yeah, that's like a whole like level conversation when you talk about that, even from like I started off with the school pipeline, and then just having a parent that actually went through that. So
and then you got a whole president as a felon.
A whole president who was a felon, that's a whole other conversation.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but we still got people like me they're gonna go through whatever I go through.
That's
Crazy world we live in.
Yeah. So tie that back into your question. I like what the guy's doing. I love it actually, because he's creating a system and an environment where people who are convicted felons can get ahead. Because there's so many things against them, just for the simple fact that a piece of paper says that they serve time, that he's saying, okay, well, that's not gonna stop you from getting employment with me or my company. I like that, because now it's like, now they have the advantage versus somebody that may not be one, and they may have experience in trucking.
Yeah.
Well, you got other trucking companies you can go to get, get a job. So I like what he's doing to help out, to give them a foot ahead to get, back into
And then
a lifestyle.
if you've never been into a prison before, you don't know what's actually happening in there. So that's
Right.
the other final part that I missed. There's a lot of education going in there. I was the first cohort of instructors to go into Tennessee Women Prison, where they were given the opportunity to receive associates or bachelorette. What am I thinking about? But given the opportunities to get these degrees while they're in prison, so that when they did go home, they had something to fall back on. So I just think that's so amazing for the people that actually did create those partnerships with the prison. But there's like a lot of amazing things going on in the prison as well, and it's not as bad or statistically, as people say, there's a lot of black people that are in prison. The reality is, in Nashville, there's not. It's actually a lot of white women in there.
Talk your talk.
Yeah, so I think I had a class of 30 women that were in prison for a variety of different things, and I would say maybe 5 of those women were black women. The rest of them were either Latino or white, or white passing. So yeah, so I think it's important that if you get the opportunity to experience going into a prison or even a jail,
Let alone a courtroom.
yeah, or in a courtroom,
Literally.
yeah.
But I have a question. Why is it that when someone is released, the first thing they want to go do is get it? Is it what is it called? Not, I'm about to say DHL. That's the what's the license?
CDL. Oh,
CDL. Oh, you say the delivery company.
No, you ain't gonna breathe.
CDL.
What they want to do?
Why is that the first job that they always think about?
So that's the fastest way they can really make some money and get back into society, and they'll probably be more accepted in that. You know what I mean? It's gonna be harder to go sit behind a desk or something like
To
that.
judge the swirl.
Yeah, it's a little
Thank
more
you.
forgiving. Like, you got some of these companies that are felony friendly. You know what I mean? So they'll give you an opportunity. But when we all break this shit down, it's like the system we're talking about, who run the system?
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And it come back down to unity. Just like the reason why the dude is able to give people jobs, is going back to hood, picking up his people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We gotta start, when we start building these companies and we start having these ideas, we gotta start pulling each other in. We gotta stop looking at the outsiders to pull us in. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta start pulling each other in. That's the only way. This system is built for us to be broken down. We ain't gonna never come up trying to do it their way. But if we start going back to some type of bartering system, sometimes when we, I got this, you got that, we can be able to build something. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. We gotta stop looking at them to give it to us. Oh man, what, you wanna give me a job? Cool. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I lost my job, the first thing I did was learn how to take catalytic converters off the car. I ain't never did that before. But I had a Louisiana partner back in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Show me how to do it. We went to every muffler spot, you know what I'm saying? And he paid me, you know what I mean, to make, now I got a new skill. I ain't never know how to do. Then he showed me how to sell cars. You know what I mean? Play the middleman. You know what I mean? You know what? You see that car sitting over there on the street, man, they got a for sale sign on. You just call them folks, asking you help them sell the car, put your price on it. You know what I mean? It's all type of way. We not educating each other on certain things. We just like, you do you good.
So when a person is released, do they automatically get a fee of like probation? Like, what's the time limit that they have to pay?
It varies. So some
varies.
people, yeah, some
Depends on
people
you.
have to pay restitution. I know my mom had to pay restitution, and then she was on paper for like 5 years.
Like, when was her first payment due when she got like?
That same month
Yeah, I say 30 days.
Yeah, so I was saying she got out like the end of that month, and I think the next month she had to pay. I mean, I ended up paying it for her because she had a job, but still, like, you got to pay.
What did you witness your mother go through trying to get a job?
Oh God.
And what did it do to you?
It was painful because I think the other part of that story is that I had younger siblings, so I ended up taking custody of those younger siblings. This all happened as soon as I graduated from high school. So they were living with me. During that time, she was incarcerated, and then when she was released, she ended up coming to live with me. So I had me and my siblings there. So it was difficult, and then she had a moment where she went back and got back on drugs because it was hard. And of course, I had to have a firm conversation with her, and I was just like, well, you can't do that here with the kids here. Like, you can't be running in and out of here, can't have these people in and out of where I lay my head and where my siblings lay their head. So we had a conversation that she was on the streets for a while. And then I would get calls from the D boys and just different people of the community and be like, hey, your mama is at such and such house, you might need to go check on her and go pick her up. So then it became stressful for me because I'm just like, Mom, you gotta get your shit together because I got stuff I wanna do, I wanna live my life, I'm still young. You gotta get your shit together. So then eventually she went into a rehab and she stayed there for about 3 to 4 months and she got her shit together and she's doing amazing and been doing amazing. But it was definitely a struggle, like real talk, real struggle.
That's so wild because sitting here, I never would have thought, like, that's what I was about to say, like, kudos to you, because I never would have said a convicted felon. Like, not that a felon has a look, even with your mom and you, myself, my dad did 26 years in prison. When he got out, he was working a hot wing spot because he couldn't, you know, my dad was that guy, like, before he went in. Now he's like at a front, like, make it make sense. But it just shows that sometimes you don't have that passion unless you've known somebody that's gone through it. But at the same time, it pushes you to be so much better. Like, it gives you a drive like no other. Like, it's so divine. And my dad transitioned a year ago, and I tell people, you know, I wish I would have given him another chance, you know, to have a relationship with me because he really was that guy. Like, it's crazy. But I say all that to say, like, the prisons is a system. It's a system set up to destroy families. But at the same time, if you use that energy to motivate you, it will make you surpass people's, like, imaginations. They would never believe that you came from that.
Yeah.
Like, never believe it. Never believe it. So kudos to you guys. Yeah. Kudos to your mom. Kudos to my dad. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love it for us. And kudos to that guy. I didn't hear about that story. I don't know about that. But I love people that employ felonies because, like we were saying earlier, some of our greatest men are in prison. Yeah. Some of our greatest men. Wrongfully. Greatest. I mean, intellectual men, smart men, family men are incarcerated for
trying to make a living, trying to make a way.
Trying to take their families, yes. You know, so I salute anybody that employs them. I don't know what that felony friendly thing is because they're humans, you know, but I salute anybody that hires felonies. You know.
And the biggest thing, man, they show you how they don't care about your safety or none of that.
No.
Because you feeling I can't carry no gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As much as these shooters and stuff going around, so how I'm supposed to protect myself? I can't fight no shooter.
Or you be around.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It gets real deep with that.
It does.
If anyone else has anything.
Time for us all to pack up.
Costa Rica?
South America.
Somewhere. We eat rice on the beach.
You sure they like us over there?
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Yes, they would.
Especially because as melanated people, if y'all didn't realize, man, we run the world.
We
The
do.
whole
We
world.
run the whole world. We
Literally.
turn our hat to the black man, the Chinese man want to turn his hat to the
Yeah.
black. You know what I'm saying?
The Indian want to turn their knee to the back.
It's all about us coming up again. We got to get back to that status. We can talk about it all day. History, from the history we learned, we can sit there and say that we was kings and queens and all that, but we don't want to carry ourselves like that. No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We start carrying ourselves like that, man, the whole world will change.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right now, we start holding ourselves accountable for the thing we do, the whole world will shake up right
Yeah.
now. But we got to get it right.
But we also gotta stop judging each other and projecting, and just because the person does this or it's like we have to all look the same, talk the same, be the same way.
Yeah.
That's real.
Where do you think all of that comes from?
Respectability politics, with people trying to basically police how you speak, how you enunciate things, how you show up in the world. And the reality is not all black girls look alike. Not all black girls are ghetto. Not all black girls have slang, and I'm sure you guys have some things that you make. You know what I'm saying? So we can knock them all. And sometimes it's us policing each other. Like, I mean, even from hair color and shit. Like, you can't tell me I can't wear white hair because, bitch, I'm gonna wear it.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
613 normally means hoe. You know, that's right. That's far from the
I'm
truth.
just saying, like, it's just so
I
many
feel bad 'cause I just
different.
heard her before we came. I said, throw that.
That's okay.
Look, I don't know, but it's just like so many things. Like,
You used to be in bundles.
When you love yourself,
Talk to
truly
me.
love yourself,
Talk to me.
you stop doing all that shit.
Ooh.
Because you see yourself in
And everybody.
I can't judge no one talking.
It's hard for
So
me to judge you.
thank
Yeah.
you.
It's for you to even be
but
in
it's
my
a lot of
presence.
people that don't love themselves.
But you know
That's
why
what I'm
we
saying.
teach
That's
us
key.
we not pushing that in the community either.
We're not. What are we pushing? Entertainment.
That's real.
Yeah.
There's a difference from self-love and selfishness. You know what I'm saying? We talk, I'm gonna do it myself, like you were saying earlier today. We gonna do it myself. We're not teaching self-love, true value of yourself. Because once you love yourself, though, you can't do nobody else.
You can't,
You
man.
can't do it for certain
Because then you're doing yourself
you
wrong.
see yourself within everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get back to that too.
I hate it too because it's so true everything you're saying, and our people as a whole are, I feel like black people, black culture, we create cool, like you said, we turn our head to the back, Chinese people gonna do it or whatever the case may be. But if you look at everything we've gone through as a culture, from history of slavery to Jim Crow to all these things our people have been through, and the fact that we still find joy and happiness in life. I feel like we're envied by so many other cultures because how can we put these people through so much stuff and they survive it and still have nothing but still enjoy life?
And they whatever they could do to tear us down from the
Exactly.
down to the children, down
You know
to
why they do that?
talk to me.
Because even the Bible says that God has special people. And when we read the Bible all the time, we want to miss over that part.
Helios
We wanna-
Biblos, talk.
And one thing that's black community, we always want to involve everybody else. You know what I'm saying? We so quick to be like, don't talk about that man over here, the Chinese man or the Mexican man. We want to involve everybody else. We forget we them special people.
Yeah.
We them special people that they talking about in that Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we hold the power. And you see it, it's evident. We can say whatever we say, whatever we do. They say Africa the motherland, right? But why we don't want to do nothing they doing? We don't want to dress like them. We don't want to sing like them, but they want to do what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to do what
Make
we
it make
do.
sense.
You know what I mean? We go country to country, state to state, and these folks can't speak a lick of English, but they can sing every one of our songs.
Talk to me.
But we don't know not one African song that come out. We gotta remember we them special people, and they know we that special people. The Bible says that they knew that everybody should play a hand in the downfall of the children of Israel. They should be scattered to the four corners of the nation. Now I don't know what everybody believes this. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I study all things, right? But I know I understand the metaphysics, the esoteric knowledge behind it. You know what I'm saying? And we are something special. And when we start to realize something special, we gonna start changing things up. You feel me? Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. They against us. The world is against us. They are against us. And we got to start looking at it like that. Love thy enemy. It's the reason why it said love your enemy. We got a natural enemy. You know what I'm saying? We got to start.
To hate them is to hate ourselves.
Spiritual
That's
warfare
shit.
at that, not a physical.
Thank you.
So they're attacking us through television, they're attacking us through our music. We gotta put a stop talking that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling you earlier, I was saying, I don't listen to rap like that no more. Well, I listen to what Kevin Gates, that's it. No Kevin. You know what I'm saying? And he's talking in spiritual talk. That's
Right.
what I like.
Big old
You know
gangster.
what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm listening to classical jazz. I don't even like the type of dude. I'm at home, nigga. It sound like elevator music in my house. Yeah, I'm serious. A glass of wine with a laptop in my hand. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta get back to our elegance. We gotta get back to who we are.
To our truth.
You know what I'm saying? To our truth.
I think we need to get back to our black excellence and elegance too. Not that we don't do it. Those of us that do it, but as a
Collective.
as a collective. I think as far as the map, that's what we should get back to. Being like, okay, we are the greatest.
Yes.
Instead of twerking and, you know, doing all the big booty titties out, you
I'm
know.
gonna delete you on Instagram. I see you do that.
It's just too much.
Well, I do it on Instagram, so delete me now, baby.
You do it on Instagram? You be
You said what's this?
Not love to twerk. I would twerk in person, but I will not post any twerking.
One second, because I think sometimes that even though I definitely believe in God, let me say this, I feel like the Bible sometimes handicap us.
We ain't gonna.
Yeah, because we don't understand it for what it is.
But if we're talking about we want to get back in tune with our history and our culture, the hips and the movements and all of that, the way we sway our body came from us. It was
Rhythm
derived
and
from
dance.
us. So this is released trauma. So there's a lot of different.
So no.
I ain't talking about your ass. I just said twerking.
So that's what I'm talking about.
You said twerking and your titties out, but then also too, like, I mean, I feel like this.
Let it cook, let it
Y'all
cook.
can't police people's body and how they want to show up either. That's the other thing that comes back to respectability politics, because you see these white girls walking around here with these shorts all up their ass, titties out and all that, just because black women have more figures.
And they wanna
doesn't
be
mean
just
that
like
we should be like, what do you call it, hypersexualized, okay? Like let's stop it. If we're gonna have the conversation, let's have the conversation.
Let's have it.
Because you already know
That's
that
what
black
set me
women
up.
have big thighs, breasts, and all the things, but I feel like our bodies get policed and we don't have the autonomy to control our body. But then it's like we have these conversations where we say, well, don't have your titties out and your ass out. Look, anytime that I have my titties out, I'm not trying to thirst trap a person. I can't help it that I got big titties. But it's certain shit that I want to wear. But if I have them out, do you not know when I go somewhere? So I can't wear certain tops because I don't want people looking at me like I'm crazy. But when I do wear those certain tops, it's like I get like the death stare.
So a man walking down the street with a see-through briefcase with a bag full of money in a bad neighborhood, and he get robbed, who fault is it?
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
Y'all agree to disagree. I'll show y'all that. I can get butt naked. If these cameras weren't here, I would be butt naked in this room, but I ain't gonna put out no social media.
I have no
I ain't gonna
comment.
put it on
I'm
the
not
social
talking about being butt naked on social media. Like let's
And
pull
that's
it back
not-
in.
that's not
Let's
speaking of
pull
that.
it back
But I was
in.
saying social media.
I'm not-
Will it back in. But what we can do is, I guess what I'm saying is that some people use their bodies as art. What we can't do is police it and say, just because you wouldn't do it per se, doesn't necessarily mean that this female that's doing it is not, maybe she's not doing it in the way that you would like for it to be shown on social media. But if that is her brand, if that's how she get her brand, then I don't got no problem with it. My thing is this: why does it upset other women, other men, how people show up in the world? If that's how they want to show up authentically and boldly, allow them to show up and let them. It's enough shit going on in the world that people are policing, that we're worried about our sister and brothers doing X, Y, and Z. Like, if that's what she want to wear, let her wear it.
Yeah, that is you're right.
I ain't saying nothing about y'all tight ass jeans and y'all tight ass shirts.
Oh yeah, but you know what?
I just y'all don't woke me up. I'm about to go to sleep.
I'm gonna find your Instagram. Let me see what you looking like.
Me too.
Let me look. Let me see.
I'm always there.
I think the
When I
bull.
say twerking, it ain't. I'm not saying like I'm saying in a distasteful way. So you have women.
See, here you go. Say that. Okay, go ahead.
You got women that's on here with literally with their ass out.
Yeah.
Right, and then they'll get on camera and sit there and say these men ain't shit. right? I want a real man. And if you understand the psyche of a man, right? They did it scientific.
Yeah, visual.
Right. It's even this though. They said they put a woman that was modest in front of a man. And you know, they did like a little scan or whatever. And they said it went off, they had like a respect for her, they honored her a different way. And then they showed a skanky looking woman, right? And they went off like he was acknowledging a tool, something to use. And so that's why you have, and how you carry yourself, your conduct is everything. So when you want a good man and you want a certain lifestyle, you want traditional values in your household, you can't walk around looking like that.
The same thing could be said for a man, because hear me out. You may marry a modest woman, but you're gonna sleep with the woman that's the scapegoat, but she may not be seen in public with you. So the same way you say that you wanna be the same way that you say you want a good woman and all of this and all of this, a woman wants a good man that ain't had a whole lot of bodies either. So like, let's be real.
I don't speak about vibrational men. I'm a high value man.
So I gotta speak on
my man. I'm not
man.
speaking just from a financial.
Define a high value man, because baby, I love you.
A man of God, a man that stands on principles and morals. We're not talking about just finances. You know what I'm saying? We speaking about principles.
But earlier today, we were talking about transactional things.
No, but I'm saying, I'm not saying
in a relationship,
expecting.
We're gonna have 3 hours to break this transactional down.
Because you pay bills, so you putting yourself out like as you the provider, you financially providing for this woman, and she better come home and rub my feet and cook.
No, that's what you took from him saying transactional. Transactional
That's
could
what
be
he
deeper
said.
than that.
It
No,
could be.
it could be. You gotta have a space to break it down.
You have to do jump through hoops. I even said that when I was there.
Well, I ain't gonna jump no way.
Yeah, I don't want
You're
to.
not investing in them without one
But when I'm
return.
saying that,
You want to
there's a
return.
level of appreciation, right? It's a level of appreciation.
Is it?
Is it? So I
Because I'm
can
gonna be honest, these sides are winning these days. I see
They're
a lot of
not.
Airbnbs, they twerking all day,
But
every
that's
day.
nothing.
They getting
But
everything, so.
they're not gonna get it.
It
But I
looked
think
like they
that's
had
Because I know,
satisfying.
like I was explaining to them earlier, I'm the type of man that if I know that you've been working just like I've been working, and we have kids in the home, and I see you washing dishes, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna put the kids in the tub, I'm gonna get them ready for bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna work with you. I'm gonna work with you all back. So at some point, I want you to, just the same way y'all women want to be looked at as that itch or that one. I'm just saying that's how they talk now,
Collectively.
right? What? So y'all want to look at the queen? I want to be cherished like the king. I don't want to put in all this work and then you just treat me like shit.
You hear me?
That's my vulnerability right there. I don't want to be treated like shit. And I've been in that situation. I've been with a narcissistic woman where I poured into her, and I got nothing in return. Nothing. That's hard. And as a man that devalues, you start to question your value as a man. Am I good enough? When you know you have put in all this work and you did everything the right way that you do, the best way you can. So, dude, I want something in return. You don't have to jump through hoops. If it's simple, if you know I'm a writer, if you bring me a notebook, I will be so happy that you thought about me. It's just that simple with me. We're that simple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of women don't understand that. It's like take in this generation. Give. You just give it to me. And I just because I give you some coochie.
That's what you deserve. You feel me? Come on.
I don't want you. I'm good.
That's part of the transaction, naturally.
I don't need your coochie. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel the same love that you want. That's what I'm in it for. Because that's the only thing men are in relationships for. We want the love. We don't care about. We can get all that. We can get the coochie. We can get the cooking and all that without being in love.
Sure
We
can.
join in a relationship to have this experience with you. And if you treat me like shit, I don't want you. I don't want you. You're not valuing me. I don't want you either, man. If I want that transaction, you gotta swipe that card. You know?
Hey, put the chip in
You
something.
see what he just? No way, friend. I was with you. He just proved my point.
PlayStation.
No! You want a new game?
What?
I'm done.
So you want your transaction to be monetary too?
No, I'm doing
Okay.
No, he meant transaction.
Wait, hold on, Siri. I thought we were out of eye.
I want out the next
You get Wi-Fi in your name, you get
the
it
dog
off.
back.
Cut everything.
Basically,
Come on. Oh, 5 minutes? We ain't got 5 minutes, baby. We're gonna keep this. Camera roll.
One thing I like about all this is that we'll have one topic and then we'll go to something that's
Man, we've been all
we haven't all okay with that.
Yeah.
That's why I told you I just want to sit back. I'm what y'all do after talking.
Aaron got something to say back here. What you got to say, Aaron?
So,
I'm fine.
Come to the front, please.
Good
Thank
job.
Here I think is interesting, right? The topic started out on the guy putting everybody on, and some people are having some controversy about it, but not really looking at the fact that he's valuing them and respecting those men as human beings. Then we get this excitement because now we're going back into the relationship that we were talking about earlier. Is there respect for me in the relationship? And so what we have to make sure that we maintain is you got to be able to show respect and keep it simple. Because at the end of the day, if I know that my woman respects me, if I know that my dude respects me and we're in a relationship together, then we can figure everything else out. Because if I respect you, it's going to be a guardrail on my mouth on what I say to you when things get a little heated. But if I don't respect you, what's going to happen? Go back to the Bible, what we've been talking about. Out of the abundance of our heart and mouth speaks. So you met that. And certain things that people say you can't recover from. You can't recover from the saying that you was drunk because that meant you met it, because drunk people don't tell no lies. That means that you got upset, so all of a sudden you feel like you need to get off your chest. That means how long you been thinking about that? You just got the nerve enough to say that to me. So that's what happens is that we actually, when we're not honest and we're not vulnerable, then when things come out in the heated moment, we realize we respect it all the time. Right.
So is everything relational?
Everything 100% is relational. And you
Because we keep going back to like,
well, it is relational. I mean, we always want to make it male, female, hetero, sexual, homosexual. But at the end of the day, everything that moves in this world is based on a relationship. Everything that moves is based on a relationship. And nobody wants to feel like they're being left for you. And the moment that I feel like I'm being left for you, now we in competition. Or we go into the space saying compromise. And compromise is one of the most selfish things you can do because you're not going to leave the deal until I get out of this when I get out.
Damn.
that was something.
Oh, my nutritious.
No,
Thank you, Aaron.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't compromise?
You don't compromise.
I like for a person to be themselves. I can be myself. What are we compromising about? If you like something the way you like it, I'm gonna do it the way you like it. If I like something the way I like it, I want you to do it the way I like it.
Does that work every time?
Yeah.
Right. Or restaurant. If he's craving steak and lobster, or you
We're gonna go get you your steak and lobster, then we're gonna swing back and get what I want. If they don't want
Hey, there's more than one restaurant. Talk this
what you want, I'm gonna check the menu and I have what I want. So I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna enjoy myself.
That's that Memphis.
And we're gonna swing back. And I could be late. I could be late.
So you're not gonna get nothing from the menu at his restaurant.
I'm gonna go. I mean, if I see something I like, I'll get it. If I don't, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be
But you
patient.
know what? As a man, we would compromise in that situation.
Yeah.
Is that compromise? Maybe that is compromise.
Instead of real, it's about time management, right?
Make it make
so,
sense.
for us to go over here to go get this steak, to go get what you want, you know, I'm not gonna get what you want. I'll figure out what I want from where you want.
I was gonna say, oh, you can drop me off. I'm gonna still go get what I want.
Man.
Introduce another word that actually keeps you from being selfish. Okay. What you just described is a sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah. We sacrifice.
It's
Yeah.
given out of the right heart. It's given out of love.
Ooh, yeah, that's a leader. Thank you.
Keep the score.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
You preaching, bro.
Exactly.
Compromise. Keep it sport.
Exactly.
That's because I love, I care, I respect.
I understand.
I'm not keeping up no score. It's just this is what I want to do to be with you.
Wow. So see,
That's how I feel.
so you don't compromise, but then you sacrifice.
Absolutely. And I think because I'm a mom, I'm always sacrificing.
True.
So that's it's just normal to me.
your nature.
It's, it's
What about the
normal.
men though? Do y'all sacrifice or y'all compromising a lot because
I sacrificed my whole life.
Man, I'm saving down for sacrificing so much. I ain't even
Thank you.
keep sacrificing.
Thank you.
And like he said, getting the short end of the damn stick.
Thank you.
I feel like
See, I ain't
sometimes
doing it. I'm
I
chilling.
feel like I heard y'all both say that, and I feel like sometimes it
I have
requires
good
like
time.
some self-reflection. Like what in the relationship that you
So,
It ain't even always with the relationship, baby. It's from the jump. Like when I see them red flags, cut.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
But when I'm in that, so let me go back to my ex-relationship, right? What I learned out of that was about me setting my boundaries.
Okay. So that's the part I would like.
And because men are not taught that. We're taught from our grandmothers and our mothers to love the woman and be nice to the woman. And,
to accept them.
And just accept some of the things. And when you even listen to some of our old heads, they're telling us like that's just the way.
That's just the way women are. You know what I'm saying?
They teach my son.
Right. So this is what it comes back to learning and valuing yourself and setting those boundaries. And when you get to that point, then you start to, hey. So you see,
chopping block.
But you gotta learn how to love yourself first.
Absolutely.
You gotta learn how to self-value. That's all it's about. So I learned how to. One thing about me in any relationship, from my guy friends, girlfriends, relationship, whatever relationship, if there's something I don't like about that person, the first thing I do is question myself. Why do I attract this person? Why is this person in my life?
Talk to me.
And then, so, for instance, I seen that my supervisor was passive aggressive, and I didn't like it. And I was like, why is he always sending shit through the email? He don't never want, you know what I'm saying? He don't never tell me direct. I know you talk about my ear pods, you know what I'm saying? But you don't tell me. I feel some way. And it made me think like, well, you know what? I heard her say I've been passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I can see why that's annoying. You know what I mean? So let me change that about myself. I'm always gonna hold accountability for myself. That's how I've always grown. That's where growth comes from.
Me
You
too.
know what I'm saying?
I'm holding myself accountable first.
Right. First.
I'm checking me first.
Why this person around me? Why I accept this shit? Why I like this person? Or it's something in me that is something I see in myself. Or something that in myself that attracts this. So now I have to switch it. If I don't like it, now I need to go back to the drawing board and redo some things. You know what I'm saying? I just look like this.
I feel like I'm in the middle and I just listen to all my friends what I do anyway.
Yeah.
Just y'all go back and forth.
But I think listen, I'm gonna say this, but I think I'm gonna be done with it.
She's out there.
But I feel like you said a couple of
Keywords.
things, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you attract what you are. Could you explain that?
Oh, please do. I love this conversation.
He said refill.
They ain't got to take the glasses off.
Back off.
You know what? I'm gonna let him define that.
Hey, let him cook.
Go ahead.
I know what you're gonna say. A lot of people be like, well, you be a good person and you attract some evil type of people. You attract, what I mean by that is everything is frequency. We say
So you're on the same vibrations.
Yeah. So it's all about, we say these terminologies all the time, right? Like the vibe in the room or the energy was off, right? It's the frequency that you're on. Y'all might not have the same, you not gotta have the same spiritual beliefs, but it's the way you're vibing, thought processes, right? So even though that you might not be as manipulative as that person, you still manipulate somewhere else, and this is why you receive. You get what I'm saying? So it don't matter, it might look different, but it's still the same. It's still on the same frequency. So you're gonna attract the same, you're a magnet. You are a magnet. You know.
So could you say that the same for someone who experienced domestic violence and they end up dead because they attracted a man that abused them and then eventually killed them? You would say that they attracted what they are?
In a sense, and I hate to say
Thank you for being honest, because I was gonna say yes.
Right. In a sense, because they accepted it. They accepted it. You know what I'm saying? They allowed it to stay in their life. They didn't check it when they seen it the first time. When it happened the first time, they decided to stay. When he first put his hands on. So it's something about that person, the insecurity, they're both insecure.
So let me jump in here real quick. So I remember there was a moment, I was dating this woman in college, and my mom said to me, I love her for you because it showed me that you've grown and that you healed in some ways because you could attract her based on the previous version that you were. Now, let's go to what we've been talking about, like self-love, boundaries, and everything else. Back to the scripture. Love your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and then love your neighbor as yourself. Now, when we talk about the domestic violence or the toxic relationship or the narcissism, it's difficult for you to be able to love someone when you don't have it yourself. Or if you have a definition of what it looks like, and it's a piece of a broader picture that is attracting somebody else that has that same piece of that broader picture. Yours might show up as more of an introverted trait. The other one might show up in a more extroverted trait, but they're still the same trait.
But because we are moving with a broken view of what love is, then now we start to say, well, that's how it's supposed to be. And so because that lens is cracked, the two broken pieces are trying to normalize themselves because at least I got something. And so again, we're trying to give to somebody, to give something that we don't have because we don't find value. It is difficult for you to love something that you don't find value. And many folks, when you watch us how we get to relationships and we think that we in love, is because we haven't created the value first at home, because what you value is child. And we got two mamas in here. I promise you they value their kids. You want to see some smoke, go mess with their kids. They value their kids, therefore they protect it. So then how much more, if we're to give to others, are we supposed to protect ourselves? And that part, we still are in relationship trying to figure out how do we change that paradigm to be able to see that as awareness and not selfishness that I put up in the boundary.
Yeah. It's great.
And I feel like in those instances, that's what you don't see in your friends, but they're doing through at home in their private spaces that they don't love themselves enough. You may think they do, but obviously, not obviously, I won't say that, but if you did, you wouldn't keep yourself in those type of situations that ultimately end in there. I've been there myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I went back just to have somebody, I'd have did it.
Yeah.
You try to take me and my child out.
Well, we come to the program where we're ready for the vote of thanks and the closing remarks from the pastor. And the ushers are no longer needed to lock the doors, so we're not going to need $40,000 like Martha said.
Dang, why he sounds like this? Why he built like this, man? Hey, why he built like this, though?
Anyway, Rob, I want you to close us out on this one.
Man, to anybody out there, keep going. Don't let the system defeat you. Don't be down on yourself. Keep pushing. Take the support that is there, and come up with a plan. That's all you gotta do. Come up with a plan. Don't let the system trick you out. It's a lot of successful fellas out there. So if it's a lot of them out there, you can be the same. Don't make no excuses on why you had to go back. Shit gonna be hard, but if you keep pushing through, it all paying out at the end.
You know, I want to ask you one thing.
Always be the biggest.
What
Largest.
other thing?
My bachelor's in human health, performance and sports management, exercise science, and my master's in organization leadership.
What do you want to do with it?
Honestly, after that situation, nothing, because I'm at the point now I'm shooting straight for entrepreneur. I don't care for corporate America no more. I don't even really want to deal with a 9 to 5 no more. They got that.
That's right.
They don't, corporate America don't show enough appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard you said something about working with the kids. I did it too, 8 years, blood, sweat, and tears, 6-7 days a week. You know how it is when you're short. And then I had a top level position too. You know, so I'm good. My degrees, I earned them. I'm grateful for them, but I'm not trying to rebuild no more in corporate America.
That's real.
Talk that talk.
For real. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for watching this episode, and we will be here shortly for a recap. All right, y'all.
Oh, that was